don't judge me and don't ask me why I read this. But I read After by Anna Todd. Hello everyone, my name is Andrew. If you don't know me, you should subscribe. But today I'm going to be doing my July wrap up and telling you guys all about the books I read in July and what I rated them, all my thoughts. So in July I read 7 books, which is pretty good. I didn't have any DNFs, and I will put the number of pages I read in total right here on the screen. Once again, I forgot to add it up before this video, but I was really excited to go ahead and film this video because I read some great books in July and I can't wait to talk about them. First book I read in July was a banger. It was so freaking good. It was Iron Widow by Ziran J. Zhao. This book, oh my god, if you read any of these from this video, if you take away any of these recommendations, it should be this one because this was such a badass, amazing book. This book is loosely based off historic China, and our main character Zixin lives in a place where the world gets attacked every so often by these kind of alien sources. And so what this place does is they have battles with these mechas, so like giant machine things that are called chrysalises, and the way that those chrysalises are powered up is by the energy of pilots. Every chrysalis has a male pilot and a female co-pilot, and what happens every time they go to battle, for years this has been happening, is the male pilot survives and the female pilot is just a concubine pilot, and she dies literally every time, with the rare exception of like one time in history. And so Zixin's older sister ends up going and getting herself killed, and because she signed up to be a concubine pilot, and that really pisses Zixin off, and she just kind of wants her revenge. She wants to avenge her sister's death by going and killing the pilot who killed her sister. Zixin ends up getting paired up with Li Shimin, who is the total baddie pilot. He's like the worst of the worst. He literally gets locked up every night in prison. He literally goes by the Iron Demon. So yeah, he's not the best. This book is really focused on Zixin grappling for power. Like, she gives me Jude Duarte vibes from The Cruel Prince, when Jude is, you know, always wanting power. Zixin is quite like Jude in that aspect, and she does crave power. She's also a huge feminist. This book has a lot of feminism in it, a lot of feminist ideals, which is really cool. I don't want to give away too much, but there is quite a bit in the romance aspect, and it's not what you think. It's definitely not just one way. I definitely could say there's a love triangle in here. I definitely think there are a lot of relationships in here that is like a tangle of relationships, a tangle of love, which is really cool. So check it out. I love this book so much. So then I read This Is How You Lose the Time War by Alma L. Motar and Max Gladstone. This book I gave 3 stars. It definitely wasn't my favorite book ever. It was kind of an odd book, but I can see why people like it because it's a very unique book. I was a bit confused right from the beginning, and I kind of thought I would get the point a little bit better as I kept reading, but I didn't, so that kind of sucked. Basically, these two people are in different timelines, like different parts in time, and they are in different places, but they communicate by leaving letters. Like, they're communicating through time in different eras, which is really cool, and I found that really interesting. Again, it was kind of confusing on audio because whenever one would start, I would kind of have to be like, wait, who is this? They went by red and blue, which was cool. I don't know, it was a cool vibey book, but it just wasn't my favorite thing ever. So then I read The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams, and I really love this romance book so much. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was so cute, and I want to buy the physical copy so I can have it on my shelf forever and read it in the physical copy. I read it on audio. Again, audiobooks have become my thing this year. Like, I live off audiobook. This book is about Bree and Nathan. They have been friends since high school. They are adults now, and Nathan is a professional NFL player. He takes his job very seriously. He really loves football. Bree is a dancer, so I like their little dynamic. They're both really athletic, and so they've been best friends forever, and we get dual POV in this book, and we quickly learn that Bree has a thing for Nathan and Nathan has a thing for Bree, but neither of them want to ruin their friendship. But they've always been so sweet to each other, and like Nathan, when he has girlfriends, he always puts Bree first. Like, he doesn't care who the girlfriend is, like Bree comes first because that's like his main girl, which is like She should have known. Both of them are completely oblivious to the fact that they like each other, so I think it's a really good book. It's best friends to lovers, and it also has fake dating with best friends to lovers, so it's really good. Okay, so then I read Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This book was interesting. It's a young adult fantasy book about a game that takes place called Caraval, and basically if you sign up for the game you have to complete it, but there are actual consequences if you like die or get hurt or something. Basically our main character Scarlett, her sister goes missing, so she gets taken to the game and has to play to find out where her sister is and what happened. There's a lot of deception in this book. Like, the game itself is built upon deceptions, and you should not forget that you are in a game. Like, you shouldn't let you get swept off your feet or anything, but it's so easy to do that because everything feels so real in the game. And so Scarlett's looking for her sister, and she has the help of this one boy, but the boy may not be who she thinks he is, and there's just, again, so many betrayals, so many lies, so many twisty plot lines, which takes you to unexpected places in this book. It does have, I would say, a trigger warning for like abusive fathers, because the father in here is pretty brutal to his daughters. And I tweeted about this, but I have only seen from Caraval that there's a character named Jax, but apparently he's not in this book at all. He's in book 2, so I don't understand. I've been misled. I was looking for Jax this whole book and he's not even in here, so I'm definitely gonna pick up the sequel. I do own it, but I'm gonna find out who Jax is and I will report back. Maybe I'll read it next month. Please don't judge me and don't ask me why I read this, but I read After by Anna Todd, also in July. I went on a cruise for a week, so this was a really easy read to just pick up, put down, pick up, put down in between all the events that I was doing on the cruise and all the activities and stuff. So I definitely don't think this is peak literature. It's definitely not the best romance ever. It's pretty toxic, pretty problematic, but it was entertaining. The angst in here is like A1, but again, it's just so toxic. It's about Tessa and Hardin. You've probably heard about it. It was a hairstyles fan fiction on Wattpad. I never really liked One Direction, so I never heard about this. It wasn't in my circle, you know? I didn't cross paths with it, so it's new material to me, and I don't really picture Harry Styles when I think of Hardin, because the hairstyles I know now is just not like Hardin. Hardin has a lot of problems. He's a typical bad boy. This is a very like 2010s young adult book, and it reads like one. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, it was just for fun, and I gave it 3 stars, so yeah. I finally read Verity by Colleen Hoover, which I'm very excited about because I'd had this on my TBR for almost a year now, I think, and this book was actually pretty good. Like, I gave it 4 stars. I wasn't let down, and I would probably read it again, and I would recommend it. I don't read suspense or mystery. This is the closest I'm gonna get to like any of that genre, even thrillers. Basically in this book we followed the main character Lowen. She gets asked to be a ghostwriter for a author named Verity after Verity gets injured in an accident. So Lowen goes to Verity's house to stay with them, to go through her notes, to try to finish her series of books. And well, Verity has a husband who is there, a remaining son, because she had multiple children, but the remaining son is still there. And so Lowen is just kind of living amongst this family and learning dark, twisted secrets. This book was really dark. Like, I see why people have said that before. I see why they said there's a lot of twists, because there was. And specifically the ending, I just don't know what to believe, and if you know, you know, but I'm so conflicted on what was really going on in this book, and if you read it, you will understand. But by the end, I was just like, I don't even know what happened. Also, I read this book a couple of nights before bed and had nightmares both times I did that, so it's pretty creepy, but it was really good, so I do recommend. Lastly, I read After We Collided by Anna Todd, the sequel to After. Listen, I guess I'm hooked. I guess I'm after trash. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't like it that much. I don't think I'll ever read these again, but I just wanted to know. I want to know what happens to Hardin and Tessa, okay? I want to know if they can get past their toxicity and be a normal couple, or if they're just doomed forever, which by the end of book 2, I think they're just doomed forever, to be honest. They should just let each other go. Like, not even if you love it, let it go. It's just, y'all need to just let it go. And just, Hardin needs to go back to England. Tessa needs to stay in the US, and just, they need to never date anyone again. I think they just need to be single. That's all the books I read, so let me know what your favorite read of July was. Mine was definitely Iron Widow. Such a good fantasy. I loved it so much. If you would like to follow me on my social media, I have my Bookstagram, TikTok, Twitter, all that linked down below. If you want to help support the channel, I have a Ko-fi that you can buy me a coffee on. I also have my Amazon wishlist if you'd like to send me a book. But that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
3, 2, 1. Arguing again, arguing about something so simple. Make it clear, tell me why you're running back to him. Feeling insecure, feeling like there's more to your character. Every tear that you cry is worth it in